Jake Gyllenhaal, it's on site. That's it. That's my intro. Hi, I'm Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment, and again, this is another installment of I'm taking something too seriously because this is my channel, and I can. What's the point of having my own YouTube channel where I don't really have like a really set theme, aside from me talking too much, arguably too fast, about things and taking them far too seriously? What's the point of me being able to do that and having you guys be my captive audience if I cannot overanalyze the All Too Well short film from Miss Taylor Swift? What's the point? Someone has to do it. Now, when I heard there was going to be, there's something on my glasses and it's gonna drive me insane. This is probably gonna be a very short video. It's mainly just a joke because most of my friends are not Swifties and I'm still a fairly new Swiftie in that I was not vibing with the Reputation era, and then I realized that I was in a pick-me-girl state and that never really goes anywhere. Frankly, was not happy with it. So sorry, Miss T Swift, I have seen the light. I accept that you are a god to women. I accept that. That being said, I still am not vibing with the Reputation era. I'm just not. But anyway, I am very much involved in her and very in support of her re-recording her masters and having her own versions and all of that and owning them. I'm very much a fan of that. I'm very much a fan of reclaiming what has been taken. And I like that she's getting more mileage out of it and releasing stuff in general from her vault and all of that. So again, support Taylor's versions and Taylor's versions only. Thank you. Now, I too, like everyone else, heard that there was a 10-minute All Too Well. And now I'm fairly convinced that it was also a joke the whole time. Someone on TikTok was like, she made that as a joke, and now everyone was like super excited about it, so she actually had to like scrounge up a 10-minute version, which is kind of funny. And I do think that may be the case. But anyway, the 10-minute version I think is nice. I like it. It's, again, on site for Jake Gyllenhaal. But also, I'm someone who used to basically play the All Too Well Grammys performance that she did religiously. I used to play that far too often. It was my entire sexuality at one point. When I heard that there was going to be a short film, I didn't originally think I was going to make this video. I was looking forward to the short film because I do like when artists do stuff like that, when they do music and things like that. They do like, you know, extended music videos and things like that. I think that's fun. I like concept art and concept albums and all of that for music. I think that's fun, especially as someone who is much more film and TV and movie focused than I am music focused. I always like when that blend happens. So I was looking forward to the All Too Well short film, and especially when the casting came out, I was like, oh shit. So for those of you who don't know, Sadie Sink plays her, and then Dylan O'Brien plays him. It's their interpretation of Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal when they were dating when she was about 19 and Jake Gyllenhaal was about 30. And so the age gap in the relationship, in the portrayal, is very intentional. I saw people who were like, it's really creepy. She was playing a child a minute ago. Yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be creepy. It's supposed to be weird. And I do think that I was genuinely uncomfortable watching this film between the two of them. And I do think that Dylan did a very good job. This short film did try to get me to hate Dylan O'Brien because I was like, why'd you drop her hand, buddy? Again, taking things too seriously, I think it's fun. The casting's intentional. The age gap is intentional. It's meant to make you feel uncomfortable and to be like, that's kind of weird. It's the point. It's the commentary on Taylor and Jake's relationship. And that's not me like looking between the lines. It's very blatant. It's been known that the song is about Jake Gyllenhaal. So again, it's basically a 14-minute and 55-second version of a music video / short film for All Too Well. It's basically a concept music video with little scenes in between depicting the relationship, but then also lines of dialogue. So there are little scenes like that throughout it. So it starts with like an opening of them laying in bed, and it's like, are you real? Like, did I make you up? It shows the very rose-tinted glasses of the relationship and all of that. And it's basically just kind of depicting the deterioration of the relationship while also showing just this film made me want to kind of smack the shit out of Dylan O'Brien, even though I know he's playing a character. But I feel like that's good acting. If I don't want to slap your character, you're not committing enough, you know? Starts out very nice, you know, the red scarf, all of that. I left my scarf at your sister's house. I'm not going to play any of the audio, obviously. Maybe some of the dialogue bits I'll play for you. But as much as I respect you, Taylor, and I want you to get your bag, I also have bills to pay and I don't want you copyright claiming this video. So we're going to be sparing with our music playing because the copyright content ID system here on YouTube is a vulture, you know, but it just depicts the very lovey-dovey relationship. They're very touchy-feely. They go on walks. They're going upstate. They're going to the sister's house. And then it kind of shows like the crack in the glass. They have different titles as the different like chapters of a relationship. So like the first crack in the glass, I believe, is the one with the dinner party. And the dinner party, it's like she's there and it's clearly him and he's very charismatic. Everyone's loving him, but it's clearly like she feels like the odd man out. And we later find out that it's because it's all of his friends that he hasn't seen in a couple of years. She's just clearly not having a very good time at this party. And at one point, oh God, I hated this so much. I was like, what the fuck? She reaches across the table and like grabs his hand and he like flips it over and like looks at it and is like, and then pats it and like pushes it back over. Oh God, I hated it. I hated it. Cause it's like, okay, like she's clearly just looking for like okay, he's here with his friends, but like he knows I'm here. He cares about me. Like, it's like, we're not talking. He's not looking at me even, but like there's something there. And she grows her hand just to have like an anchor, a life connection, something to be like, he cares that I'm here. You know, he wants me to meet his friends. Like, this is good. This is nice. I would die, okay? And at 19, I would have walked into traffic. Okay, I don't date. I really don't date at all. I just don't. Because anxiety, and also I work from home. I don't really have a lot of opportunities to meet anyone. And then don't slide into my DMs, please. Some of you guys slide into my DMs and you're really creepy about it. You just are. Or you like slide into my DMs and then your account's private and I can't stalk to make sure you're not a serial killer. Like, what's the point of that? Anyway, but yeah, I don't date, but like I imagining at this time in my life, like when I was 19 and like more in control of my life, but still like deeply traumatized. And I was not Taylor Swift. I was not a pop star. I was not dating Jake Gyllenhaal, okay? But like I was dealing with some shit at 19, okay? And I'm just imagining being in a relationship with someone who was like years older than me, more life experience, all that shit. And then one moment where it's like, okay, just needing a little bit of a good... I would have walked into traffic. I would have let a bus run me over. Anyway, we're good now. I'm in therapy. That was rough. They recreate a scene that was some paparazzi photos of Jake and Taylor in the car, and she's looking upset. And there's been some back and forth on what he's on the phone about. From what I understand, actually, let me pull it up. I'm fairly certain he was arguing with someone about the paparazzi, like that are filming. Like, he's like, why are the paparazzi? Like something like that. There was some belief that it was actually a fight they had. But even based on this, it seems like she's just kind of like there for this argument in the film itself. Her, Sadie's character, she's just kind of there for the argument and she's kind of trying to be there for him. But instead she's being pushed away and like he throws the keys at her, like, just stay in the car. And he's on the phone and storms off and she's just kind of like lost. But it doesn't seem like it's about her unless I'm misinterpreting that. And she's just kind of like, okay, like I get why in that moment, maybe, like, it's like you wouldn't understand, maybe. Like you're a child, you're too young to understand. I'd throw up. And I'm someone who likes older guys. I do. I like older women too, frankly. I like anyone who likes me for the most part. I wouldn't date younger because ew. Frankly, like the thought of someone, even my age, 24, dating a 19-year-old makes me kind of want to vomit, but that's for myself. So I don't know about other people. I think mutual respect is important in a relationship. Personally, I think if there's an age gap, as long as there's mutual respect, I think that's everything. But also clearly that just was not here, at least in the depiction of the short film. Again, I was not part of the Jake Gyllenhaal, Taylor Swift relationship, so we're not weighing in on that. Hang on, making sure my boobs aren't popping out. You guys don't get that here. Okay. So after the scene in the car where she's like looking out and he's looking like pretty upset, pretty angry, they cut back to the scene of her cleaning up after the dinner party. And this is another dialogue scene. And he's like, why are you so pissed off? She's like, I'm not pissed off. Who said I was pissed off? Like, clearly just like, this is going to be painful. I hate this shit. The term that's been thrown around on TikTok a lot is the gaslighting, where she's like, you dropped my fucking hand. What am I supposed to do with that? You didn't look at me all night. And again, like I said, it's just like the grabbing of the hand in that moment is just like an anchor, like reminding yourself that like he cares you're here, basically. And then the pushing the hand, I get why in that moment that would like, I would lose my fucking mind. It would be a problem. And then so the back and forth, it's like, my friends were super fucking nice to you and now we're dealing with this. Like, you're upset. It's a rough scene. It's rough. And I wanted to slap Dylan. So yeah, that's that scene. And then he's like, no, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm sorry, I dropped your hand. The apologizing for the hand thing versus like, I didn't like how you acted around them. You didn't look at me. You didn't talk to me all night. It was like I wasn't here. Like, it's kind of sucks, you know? More nice scenes, more good, fun, happy memories. And then there's we don't get the dialogue for what's clearly the breaking point, the breakup, but it's not pretty, you know, it's not fun. It's not fun to watch. They're screaming at each other. She's very upset. And then it cuts to another scene of her at a part. Oh God, I hated this scene. I think this scene was done really well. Because not so much for the relationship aspect of it all, even though if you're listening to the lyrics at the time, it's clearly like she's feeling out of place with the relationship and all of that in the scene. But it just, I don't know, I think it perfectly captured just a scene where you kind of feel like a child in a room full of adults, even though you are technically an adult. And at this point, it's like this character, it's not actually Taylor, but it is Taylor, but whatever. But like, I get that feeling. The feeling I got from watching the scene of just like feeling so out of place, like everyone's looking at you like a child, even though everyone's in their own world doing their own thing, and you're just on the sidelines feeling stupid and ridiculous. And I thought that scene just, I don't know, I liked that scene a lot. It sucked, but I like that scene a lot. Then again, the birthday scene, it's a callback showing you charmed my father with jokes, drinking coffee like you're on a late night show, and then cuts forward to the line with her father. And then he watched me watch the door, waiting for you to come in, basically. And it's like, it's supposed to be fun turning 21, like he skipped her birthday. It's on site, Jake. As somebody who just had a birthday, that cut deep. Dylan, on site now too, you're on notice. And then it cuts forward. 13 years gone, I believe is the chapter after the reeling, which is like, you know, just kind of pulling yourself in, processing everything, how this person made you feel, overanalyzing everything in the relationship. Like, was this all in my head or was this a masterpiece? And then you decided that I wasn't old enough for you, but I was old enough for you a minute ago. And then again, there's this whole thing with the scarf. There's back and forth on what the scarf actually means. If it's an actual scarf, according to Dumois and like 800 other people, apparently 700 people have this scarf, like the actual scarf, in their possession. They can't all have the scarf unless Jake Gyllenhaal is just a scarf bandit running through his girlfriends. They can't all possibly have the scarf, everyone who's claiming to have the scarf. It does seem like there at one point was a literal actual scarf, but then the scarf is also a metaphor for her virginity, and that he has her virginity. Okay. Either way, give her back the fucking scarf. Oh God, whoever's the scarf, just give it back to Taylor, please. But that's the metaphor there. And then it cuts to 13 years later, and now Taylor's playing Sadie's character at a book release, and the book is All Too Well and all of that. And it's like, so again, this Taylor in the her is, you know, a novelist in this version. And then she's still, you know, going through the motions and like still even now, 13 years later, overthinking everything, like, what was this? Because that's sometimes how bad relationships leave you feeling like they stick with you. It's not just cut and dry. It's like, okay, he's done. I'm in my hot girl era. Like, no, sometimes there's lasting effects of bad relationships and gaslighting and all of that. And then I took the ending, because the very ending, the last few shots of the short film are her in the book signing, doing a reading, and then it cuts to someone who's him older. It's not Dylan, it's a different actor, but it's an older him wearing the scarf outside, looking in, and then walking away. Okay, I took that to be like, she's never really gonna be gone from him because he's always kind of going to be on the peripheral of her career. He's always going to be on the outside. And again, someone's going to be like, oh, well, that's her fault because she wrote about him. It's like, no, I don't think so, because I do think at a certain point, again, like I said, these things stick with you. The same thing goes with people in general. Like, they kind of are always on the periphery of your world when they have this type of effect on you, whether it is good or bad. And then there's also the whole fact of like, they're both celebrity figures. At the end of the day, the elite, the celebrity world is kind of a bubble in and of itself. So like, even regardless of what she does, he's kind of always like him, Jake, Dylan, whatever, is always kind of going to be on the periphery, whether it's looking in or not, whether he's doing his own thing or not. He's kind of always going to be there because he is part of that world that she is a part of in general, looking in. So it's kind of like you're never fully out of each other's like like there's never going to be a time where she just keeps going and never actually sees him again, or doesn't have to be reminded of him again. That's what I took that ending scene to be. But maybe you have your own interpretations of the rest of this film. Maybe you completely disagree and you're like, okay, well, where's Jake's short film? I'm sure someone's going to do that. So that's this. I think that the casting was good for the short film. I think Sadie did I don't know. I liked it. Also, her hair is stunning. I love the red. I love the red. I love how this was shot. I love it. I also love that they didn't have her in like a ton of makeup. Like you could see the veins in her cheeks at one point. I like when things like this are not shot and then overcorrected. You know, I like how the film was shot itself. I think Dylan's casting was good. I also think that Dylan had fun with this. He clearly was having fun with this. Like they were asking him, it's like, so isn't this based on Jake? He's like, no, I don't think so. My character's name is Brandon. I don't know where you guys got that. Or he said he didn't shower for 2 months or something beforehand to get in the role, mindset for the role, which I think he was just having fun with the character. And I think he did very good. So yeah, because I wanted to beat the crap out of him. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I like when people do stuff like this for their art and their music and all of that. More things like this. More people digging up old dirt. More of that. Jake, it's on site. Maybe go chill in Canada for a bit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how you get out of this. Ooh. Oh, I just thought of something fucked up, but I don't want to say it because if it comes to pass, I don't want it to be real. You know what? I'm gonna keep it for myself. I'm gonna write it down. Actually, my sticky notes that Hermes chewed on, I'm dating it today, is the 14th. Okay. I've written my note with my way too ridiculous fountain pen. I have it dated. It's written here. Not letting you read it because I'm hoping I'm wrong. This is my theory. This is my prediction for the future of the All Too Well short film, Taylor and Jake. It's right here. We're going to fold it up. Okay? I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping this is just my writer brain being overactive and creating a plot twist that sucks and would make people hate me as a writer. And I'm hoping that's the case. Okay, we're going to put this, where will you see this? In my hoard of candles. Okay, we're going to put it here. You guys can see it here. Can you see it? It's still there. I'm not going to touch it. Okay? It's in my candle. It's right there. It looks like a nacho chip. Can you see it? Still there. Okay? We're going to leave that here. And then if that ever comes to pass, I will open it. Or the thing that I think is going to happen happens, or the event that it's related to passes, I will open it then. Okay? And then I will read it to you. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm just like, this is just my brain being an overactive writer brain. And it's not actually me being like predicting the future. Because I'm hoping Jake Gyllenhaal is not that fucked. Anyway, that's going to be it. Did you watch the All Too Well short film? Are you listening to the All Too Well short film? Are you re-releasing to the re-recording of Red? Because I have been on repeat. I'm annoying. Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder that I have a podcast, the Swell Shenanigans podcast. I also have merch. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd also like to support me on Patreon, they'll be listed down below. If you'd like to follow me on all my social media, they'll be all up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Don't gaslight your girlfriend. Goodbye. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that thing is wrong. I'm hoping my little writer's prediction is just my writer's brain. I hope it's not gonna actually happen because, oh, that'd be fucked. That'd be fucked. Thank you, Alan, Alexis, Braden, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Cody, Colton, Crash PC, Destiny, Devin, Dirty One, Don, Elliot, M, Peckles, Hopeless, Hollow, Jekka, Ray, Joe, John, M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kevin, Kim, Kristen, Lamb, Lex, Lisa, Luis, Manga, Matt O, Matthew S, Moon Lord, The Red, Michael, Micah, Jane, Flino, Pat, Penn, Prolic, Rob, Robert Ross, Sam, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Tom, Wendy, Williams, Zendry.